Fuerte is one of Mexico's Pueblos Mágicos, magical towns. Much of that can be attributed to the majesty of the city's ancient architecture, which dates back to the arrival of the first conquistadores to the region. Once an important stop on the trade route from the Pacific Ocean and North America, El Fuerte is named for this fort, built by those early conquistadors. This is not my first time here. Years ago, a family vacation on el Chepe Express, a passenger train carrying tourists to Mexico's Copper Canyon, stopped in El Fuerte. And this, the Posada Hotel, was a highlight. Today, I'm retracing my steps and getting a walking tour packed with flavor. At the Posada Hotel, the house specialty. This is the most famous ingredient in all of El Fuerte. Langostino with garlic butter and And I'm on a mission to track down the next most famous street in town, a delightful sweet cinnamon barley water. In my kitchen, you ready? Inspired by that El Fuerte barley water, I'm making horchata, which is kind of its cousin, irresistible and so easy to make. How pretty is this? And the El Fuerte langostinos made me dream of ways to cook lobster. So I'm doing lobster 2 ways. Crazy, saucy, messy chilaquiles. And my take on the classic lobster roll, with the Mexican spin, of course.
I finished that so quick, I need another one.
Who wants a second round?
I'll take a second. Yeah,
I'll take a second.
A second.
Dame tu chocolate, dame café caliente, dame tu corazón.
Posada Hidalgo is an El Fuerte institution. While the hotel itself is gorgeous, their calling card is an irresistible recipe for a local delicacy, langostinos. This is the most famous ingredient in all of El Fuerte. Langostino de río or river langoustine, que aquí le llaman cauque. Chef Chayito is a local success story. Born and raised in El Fuerte, she's worked at the hotel restaurant for 14 years. Just 2 years ago, she became the first female head chef at the restaurant. Ever. Women power. Y you were telling me that que solamente comían camarones de río, pero no langostinos en la generación de tus
de
papás.
mis abuelos, de mis papás, de esos.
Pero tú, que tú te acuerdes, ya se los comías.
Sí.
Oye, ¿y por qué tienen un sabor? Cuéntame.
Sabor muy único. Es saladita la carne, mira. Es muy fina, una carne muy, muy fina, mira.
Sí, está súper suavecito. If somebody's gonna come to El Fuerte, si alguien va a venir al Fuerte es porque quieren comer langostinos. ¿Qué vamos a hacer con este Chayito?
Vamos a preparar un langostino a la mantequilla.
Chef Chayito starts with a special house seasoning.
Con un sazonador de la casa.
No secrets, come on. Más o menos, ¿qué tiene?
Tiene chiles, ajos,
She's not giving in to her, like, secret seasoning, which only means that she wants you to come to El Fuerte. The smell, it smells delicious. Now, the house butter sauce. First, a whole lot of butter. When she said butter sauce, she really meant butter sauce. Next is garlic and more of that special house seasoning. Perejil.
Y un poco de limón.
Sí. As it's grilling. Uy, qué delicia.
Un poco de aceite de oliva para mis vegetales.
As crazy as it seems now, and watching this cook on the grill, it does sound crazy. Most people in El Fuerte didn't even fish for langostinos until recently. What is now their most famous dish was nothing but a pest just a generation ago. No, ¿por qué crees que la gente no pensaba que se podían comer antes? No se les había ni ocurrido.
Sí, no lo conocían. Caían en las trampas que ponían ellos para la lobina, para todo eso. Y caían así y pensaban que no los conocían. Pues,
oh my gosh. Over some grilled potatoes, the langostino presentation is almost too pretty to touch. But hey, I've already eaten with my eyes. It's time to dive in.
Pones
Sí,
tantita
súper
salsa.
carnosito. I love it because you have the crust from the griddle, pero luego esto está
Blandito.
luscious and meaty and
Muy
soft.
rico,
and
muy
it's,
suave.
look at the bite. I mean, it has such a gorgeous bite. Es ridículo pensar que la gente no se lo comía y que pensaban que era una peste, ¿no? Está delicioso. ¡Qué rico! Y tu mantequillita esta está deliciosa.
Gracias.
We absolutely adore chilaquiles at home, and today we're gonna make some really, really special chilaquiles because we're making lobster chilaquiles. They're crispy, they're saucy, they're messy. They're the most beautiful way that Mexicans have to honor tortillas. First of all, you're cutting the tortillas into beautiful edible pieces, and then you crisp them up. You dress them and you garnish them, and then you add lobster to them. I mean, I'm gonna brush a little bit of oil on this baking sheet. There are basically two ways that you can make tortilla chips for chilaquiles. One of them is you deep fry them in a lot of oil and they're delicious. The other way that you can do them is by baking them and they're just as delicious. And you don't need to fry them in a lot of oil if you're concerned with that. Drizzle a little bit of oil on top, sprinkle some salt. I have the oven at 375 and you wanna bake them between 25 and 30 minutes until they're really nice and crisp. Now I'm going to make the salsa for the chilaquiles. And to make the sauce, I'm going to use roasted ingredients. And I'm also going to use morita chiles. So, I have 2 morita chipotle chiles, and they smell like chocolate and raisin spices, and I love them and they're delicious, and that's why we're using them. Put them in this bowl, cover them with hot boiling water because they need to rehydrate for a little. And what we want at this point is really for the chiles to just soften up a little bit and for us to be able to open them and take the seeds out. That's all we want. I'm gonna put the rest of my ingredients in the blender. 1.5 pounds of ripe Roma tomatoes, 1.5 pounds of tomatillos. People usually either make a salsa roja or a salsa verde. You know, they think they have to choose between tomatoes or tomatillos to make a sauce, but you don't have to choose. You can mix them both and they actually go really well together. 1/2 of an onion that we quartered, 3 garlic cloves. Now my hands are gonna smell like roasted garlic, which my husband complains about. Roasted charred jalapenos. I'm removing the seeds in the moritas because the seeds are really, really spicy. A teaspoon of salt, and then I'm gonna puree these until completely smooth. I've preheated my saucepan at medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of oil. And this is a typical second step of cooking Mexican salsas. It just concentrates the flavors and it takes all of the ingredients to a different level. I'm gonna cook these for 4 to 5 minutes, and I'm gonna check my tortilla chips because it's been like 15 minutes and I need to flip them. It smells like tortillas that just came out of the tortilleria. But when they're toasted, the smell completely changes. So I'm gonna put them in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes until they're super nice and toasted. I have a gorgeous lobster. I like to put it on a baking sheet and in the freezer for about 10 minutes because it just makes the process of cooking it and cutting it a lot smoother and easier. And to cut it, you need to find the place where the head connects to the tail. Cut the body in half. You want a sharp knife, And you want to do it as fast and as swiftly as you possibly can. So we have the 2/2. With a spoon, you're just gonna clean and leave only the meat. We're going to use some of this sauce as a basting sauce for the lobster so that the chilaquiles that are gonna be baked in the sauce marry the lobster that's gonna be cooked in the sauce. So I'm going to brush this sauce all over the lobster meat. And then we're gonna add a little bit of salt. And I have my grill at medium to medium-high heat. Oh, gorgeous. And you can tell that the meat is ready to be flipped because you can see the shell and how it changed to a much more intensely colored shell. So these needs like 5 to 6 more minutes. I'm not gonna sauce my tortilla chips just yet because I like my chilaquiles really, really very crunchy. So I'm gonna make my topping. Queso fresco, chopped white onion, and some chopped cilantro. My grandfather, who was Polish, used to eat white onion as if it were an apple. So you have the fresh and the raw, the charred grilled lobsters there in that cooked sauce, and I'm really excited for how it's all gonna come together. I'm gonna take these half of the lobster, take the meat out. The first time that I ate lobster, I had come with my family. I think we were in Florida. It must have been like 10 or 11, and we went to that very famous, huge lobster restaurant chain where they have the steak and lobster combo. And I remember getting the lobster and with the butter sauce, and it was like such an incredibly special thing. And then the lobster and steak thing, it was like, whoa. We're gonna add the lobster. You ready? Fresh crema. I feel really bad not sharing something that's this good. The tortilla chips are so crunchy, and they're completely covered in this tangy, spicy, smoky sauce. And then the lobster, I mean, it's just, I can't think of any more special chilaquiles ever. El Fuerte is a town deeply rooted in the history of the Sinaloa state. Founded in 1563 at a bend in the Fuerte River, El Fuerte is a quiet colonial town now. But for over 300 years, it was the most important commercial and agricultural center in northwest Mexico. I'm getting a walking tour of this magical town from local guide Ariel. And Ariel is on a mission. So he was on the phone trying to get us the real barley water because they sold out of barley water because it's so popular. Vea que vendieron el agua de cebada porque es tan popular.
Que todo el que viene a Fuerte tiene que probarla, ¿no? Entonces eso se acaba de volada.
Barley water, a kind of sweet drink similar to horchata, is a favorite in Sinaloa. I mean, look how happy it makes Ariel.
Vamos al mural.
He promises to get us a taste. El Fuerte is a beautiful little town for a walking tour. Its namesake, this fort was built by Spanish conquistadors to ward off attacks from native tribes local to this area. ¡Ay, mira qué bonito!
Es el centro histórico y esta es la plaza de armas.
Wait. There's a bride. Ay! Did you know it's good luck to see a bride? El Fuerte was the capital of the region in the mid-1800s, an important center for commerce and trade.
¿Cómo va el agua? How's the water going?
Voy a hablar, voy a
¿La
hablar.
están haciendo o la están consiguiendo?
Habla con
She
Daniel.
promised.
While Ariel tracks down our barley water, I can't resist a quick snack.
¿Cuál es tu cosa más popular que te piden?
Tostilocos preparados.
Tostilocos, which translates to crazy chips, are a popular street food that can be found all over Mexico. You start with a bed of tortilla chips and top it with a luscious mix of crunchy jicama, crispy chicharrones, cucumber, Japanese peanuts, sweet but tart tamarind candies, and for the finishing touch, lime juice, hot sauce, and chamoy.
Oh my God. This is the best thing ever. It has the chamoy sauce, and it's this gooey liquid that's here that's like sticky, spicy, sweet. Mexicans know what I'm talking about.
Ya
Tú,
está, ya
conmigo.
está el agua.
Yes. Oh. He said that there's sign of the water. He thinks we may have found the water.
Ya me acaban de hablar que ya está, así que nos están esperando.
He says it's a
Necesitamos
done
ir.
deal. It says pura vida, ¿sí? Barely made it.
Mire.
I think they already cleaned up. Oh, they
Se
saved
fue.
me forceps.
Estaban guardando el vaso y se les acaba de tirar.
No. ¿Esta es la que quedó en el vaso o le hicieron así?
No, estaba...
I have some.
Le quiero aclarar algo, ¿no? Este vaso que se guardó es ya de lo último.
Está muy buena. I mean, honestly, it tastes like a really good horchata. ¿Y qué tiene?
Esta base de arroz, esta de leche condensada,
Sweet and condensed milk.
azúcar, vainilla.
¿Tiene
el agua de
cebada también?
No tiene cebada.
Ah.
Se le dice agua de cebada por el color que tiene.
We thought that the pura vida had barley water, but now he's telling me that there's no barley water in here. But it's still called barley water because it has the color of barley water. So it's just very complicated, but it's really delicious. Gracias por guardármela. I'm going to show you how to make horchata from scratch. And it is not complicated at all. All you need is a few ingredients and just soaking time. 2 cups of white rice. In Mexico, we typically use long or extra long white rice. And then 1 stick of true cinnamon. It's also known as canela. It's very thin and it breaks. And it is fragrant and warm and smooth. And when you soak it in water, you can really puree it in your blender. So here I have 2 cups of white rice and I have 1 cinnamon stick that I broke into pieces. 3 cups of hot boiling water, and I left it here overnight. Now you can let it soak just for 2 hours, but the more you leave it, the better. I'm gonna add 4 cups of whole milk, a cup of sugar. Puree these until completely smooth. It smells like a kid's party in Mexico City. That's what it smells like. So we're gonna strain. It is so gritty, sandy, and grainy, but that's how it should be. That texture is what makes a true horchata. You can do a lot of different things with this horchata base. What I'm gonna make with this is cafe horchata. So I'm gonna pour some hot espresso right in here. So refreshing, so delicious. This is gonna definitely keep me up. So I wanted to make 2 fabulous things with lobster. One were the chilaquiles and the other one, the classic lobster rolls, but of course with a Mexican spin. And I have hot boiling water with a lot of salt. And I'm just gonna go ahead and dunk the lobsters in there head first. Cover with the lid. Keep it at a medium simmer. And then we're gonna cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes. So many people are intimidated by making mayo because they're afraid it's gonna be complicated. They think the mayo is gonna break, or they're worried because you're using raw eggs, but nothing to worry about. I'm gonna show you how to make fresh mayo that's gonna last a couple of weeks in your refrigerator. So you have 2 egg yolks and 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime juice, a tablespoon of Dijon, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, some freshly ground pepper. Use the lowest possible speed because mayo likes it really low and steady so it doesn't break. I'm going to slowly pour 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. So the mayo is gonna start thickening and emulsifying. You can see how the color starts to change. And then I'm adding 1/2 cup of the olive oil. I do more vegetable oil because I don't like a mayo that has a strong olive oil taste. I mean, just look at the beauty. It's beautifully emulsified and thickened. Adding 2 tablespoons of chipotle in adobo sauce. Why go through the trouble of making your own mayo? Because you can customize to your taste. I add more Dijon mustard. I want it with more flavor. I want it with lime, and I want it with chipotle. The lobsters should be ready. You can tell because of the color of the shell. And we're gonna let them cool just until I can handle them. I'm gonna make a quick cocktail sauce. And I have a cup of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of creamy horseradish, 1 serrano chile. You may be wondering, why is Pati making cocktail sauce for lobster rolls? Because in the place where we go to get lobster rolls, my boy started adding it, and we kind of really like it. So I Mexicanized this cocktail sauce. You may want to try it, who knows? And the lobsters have cooled. The easiest way to take out the meat is separate the body from the head. Go in with the shears right in the middle. Use your fork. And then you want to have fun with the claws. Chopped celery, red onion, pickled jalapenos. Then we're gonna add some of that chipotle mayo. Ah, how pretty is this? One for me, one for Alan, one for Sammy. Adding potato chips to the bottom of these lobster rolls. Yum.
Come on.
Hey. Okay, so how crazy is it for you guys to have potato chips in the lobster roll?
Whenever we go biking, when we visit our cousins in Mexico, they always make sandwiches for us, and we always just put a ton of potato chips
In the
in the
sandwich?
sandwich. Yeah, and it's so good.
So I didn't know that cocktail sauce is not a thing for lobster rolls.
We always eat it with
guess-
cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
We see. Let's see what you guys think.
Oh, so good. That's really good. There's so many like different crunches. You have the crunch of the bread, crunch of the potato chips. I want to try it with them. The mayo's so good. It's so creamy. I like it better with the cocktail sauce. I like it better with the sauce too.
Please forgive these Mexicans that love their lobster roll with cocktail sauce. You know what? Maybe we like the cocktail sauce so much because we salsita everything. So even though the lobster roll is like delicious on its own and it has the mayo and it has, Like we have a need for salsaing.
I finished that so quick, I need another one.
Who wants a second round?
I'll take a second.
Yeah,
Take a
I'll
second.
second.